Hey, what's up? Happy Thursday. This is Jerry here over at Wealth Dynamics. I've got one question for you this morning. Is your wealth fake? All right, what do I mean by that? How many of the things that you do to build your wealth, to create income, to invest, are things that you watched someone else do and you're doing it because they did it? Okay, you have no idea how many people I talk to that own fourplexes because that's what everyone else is doing. You have no idea how many people I see that buy single family turnkey real estate because that's what their favorite podcaster does, or that's what their friends are doing. Okay, the point here is when you're building wealth, you need to do what works for you. Okay, you don't need to do something you saw on a podcast. You don't need to do something that all your friends are doing. That's called being a spectator. Okay, and it's just a higher level of being a spectator. Let me explain myself. If you go to a basketball game, you've got the players on the court that are actually out there playing, right? You've got the team that you're rooting for, which is your team. You've got the opponents, which are doing the opposite, trying to stop your team. And then you've got spectators in the stands. You got fans, right? And some of these fans, they don't really know what's going on. They don't really watch the game. They're just sitting there eating popcorn, having a beer. Some of them, they'll cheer. And then other ones, dude, they're wearing the jersey. They're sitting in the stadium wearing the LeBron jersey, and they think they are LeBron James. And every time LeBron James scores, they vicariously do it through him as well. They feel like they made that basket. Okay, they're the ones that, and when the game's done, they don't say, the Lakers won, they say, we won. No, they might sound like players, but they're still spectators. At the end of the day, the Lakers do not pay them. They do not show up to practice. And they do not go on the floor during the game. If they do, they get arrested because they're not supposed to be on the floor. If you're investing based on what you see other people do because you're spectating, you spend your time on podcasts, you spend your time watching other people, you spend your time looking at what your friends are doing, you spend your time looking at what your family is doing, and you pick your investments and your wealth creation methods based on that, you are the guy sitting in the stands wearing a Lakers jersey. How do I know that? LeBron doesn't watch other people play basketball. He doesn't look at what other people are doing. He just goes out and does his thing. And if that's not how you're building wealth, I believe you're building false wealth. How do I know that? Because you're not committed to it. You're going to do this for as long as you do it, and until someone else shakes you or distracts you, you're going to go do something else at that point instead. There's no real substance there. So how do you defend against this? How do you make sure you're not building false wealth? And how do you even identify, what should I be investing in? I listened to a podcast. They told me to invest in turnkey real estate. Shouldn't I be doing that? If I say, no, that's spectating, do what makes sense. And you're like, well, how do I know what makes sense? Dude, look at your plan, look at your numbers, and then do the thing that makes the numbers happen on your plan. It's that simple. Okay, what's your goal? Mathematically and logically, what needs to happen for that goal to come true, and then go do that thing. You don't need to spectate. You don't need to watch somebody else. You don't need to read a bunch of articles. You don't need any of that stuff. Just know this is where I'm going, and this is the vehicle that gets me there. And because of that, you have real wealth. You're not going to get distracted because you know the destination. Just like LeBron James doesn't get distracted and think one night he's a fan and he goes and sits in the stands instead of playing. That never happens. Why? Because LeBron knows where he's going. He knows what his goal is. So if you're an investor, if you're a business owner, if you're aspiring to be one of those things and you're doing it through spectatorship, I'm telling you, you got to stop. The amount of time you spend on articles and podcasts and YouTube videos, you need to instead put on implementing and executing. What is my goal? What's the vehicle that gets me there? What numbers need to happen? And then go do it. And when you do that, you don't have time for other stuff. I don't watch anything but Cardone University. Why? Because I need the skills it provides me to go train and learn and grow. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't follow people. I don't have any of that going on. I don't have time for it because I'm building real wealth. So I hope that really makes sense. Spectator wealth is wealth that you build because you saw someone else doing it and it looked interesting and you became a fan. Real wealth is you know your destination, you know your numbers, and you selected the vehicles that you know will cause those numbers to happen and get you to your destination. Simple as that. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Have a fantastic Thursday, and I'll talk to you guys next time.